They cannot remember a time when they could walk these paths without fear. This was a region that once served as a breeding ground for bandits and thieves. People dreaded walking through here, even in broad daylight. Deprived of basic amenities and the light of education, a community trapped in the deep abyss of poverty lived here. Farmers who turned their blood into sweat, toiling on the land. Yet like vultures, middlemen exploited and robbed them of the entire worth of their hard work. Unable to afford even a single meal, parents were forced to send their children at an age when they should have been playing and growing to work in the fields and shop fronts. Their tears dissolved into this very soil. Even more heartbreaking was the plight of the young girls in these huts. Helpless parents, with no money to marry them off, were forced to tell their own daughters to elope. Poverty and hunger were gnawing away at the very morality of this village, a people whose hopes had completely faded away. Amidst all this sorrow, it was the tears of the orphans that stung the most. Orphan souls thrown onto the streets after losing both mother and father. When the father, the sole breadwinner of the family, passed away, these little ones became a burden to mothers who left in search of a new life. Girls who were cast away by their own relatives, fearing they would become a liability tomorrow simply because they were orphans. It was into that pitch darkness that a ray of hope arrived. Thaiba Garden. It wasn't just a building, it was the beginning of this community's survival. They placed textbooks into the hands of little children who were forced to labor. They embraced the girls who thought elopement was their destiny, empowering them with self-employment and education. For the orphans cast aside as burdens, a shelter of love was built here. And so, with nothing left to lose and realizing at least they will get 3 meals a day, tearful mothers began sending their children to Thaiba. Thaiba Garden took this village by the hand and led it into a new world of letters and love. This land, once a haven for thieves, has today transformed into a garden of knowledge. Thaiba's greatest triumph lies in the fact that, from the pathetic plight we once witnessed, it has succeeded in molding a new generation that stands tall and independent on its own feet. Time has moved far ahead. This institution represents the resurrection of an entire village that walked out from the darkness of tears and poverty into the light. Today marks the completion of 14 years of that transformation, of that love, and of that care. Turning the wounds of the past into strength, there is still a long way to go forward, to embrace them for the ultimate good of this land.